Well, I like to make certain statements here because the simple fact is this. You have a telecast like HBO, home box office. Okay, the big boys on the block. You guys have the most subscribers of any other cable network. You are the big shots and been holding down the fort of boxing for a long time. And now Showtime is threatening you again. The same way they did when they had Mike Tyson. But it was your fault Mike Tyson left. And through your boldness, now you have this show where you can showcase boxing intelligently to the masses. Once you named it after Jim Lampley and made it his own show, just showed you the direction that we were going to go in. Now, I'm not really attacking these guys because I feel sorry for them, because I understand their plight. They have to do the things that they do because they have a boss. It's easy for us to condemn them because we have no boss to answer to. These guys get big checks for hundreds of thousands of dollars a year for doing this. Some millions. Now, this is where we get to condemn you, and you just have to take it. Because you are getting inflated budgets to come to the public and pacify whatever the agenda is for your company. So, let's call this year in review on that Jim Lampley show, the ego show he's gotten, and we're just gonna say we're gonna put all HBO fighters on there and talk about them. Now, this show was supposed to talk about nothing but boxing in general, but now, as you can see, each episode is more and more an HBO fighter based show. Okay, there's no real talk about anybody else except for if you fought on HBO, that's who we're talking about. Then you have an imbecile like Max Kellerman who knows better, and I feel so bad for him at times, but you get paid millions of dollars, so I can't feel that bad for you. You come out and say something like, well, Tim Bradley, I think, in my opinion, is Fighter of the Year because he went through some adversity. I mean, with Provodnikov, he survived that to come off the canvas. No one's done that this year and had to go. Granted, okay? Granted. I will give Tim Bradley consideration for Fighter of the Year. But don't tell me he got it because Provodnikov was knocking him around the ring and he found a way to win the fight. That shows me his grit and will to win a fight, but you don't penalize a guy who comes in and takes care of business. I look at the level of competition. Before that fight, Provodnikov was really a no-name. He had lost to Mario Herrera, the one who Mike Alvarado beat. He got outboxed by him. He's a solid fighter, but he's not world class. Marquez is 40. He just knocked out Pacquiao, but he is 40. And I'll tell you one thing. I give Tim credit for the way he fought those two fights, and he gets honorable mention for me. No problem. But to rate his performance over Floyd's performance, I can't give it to him. I can't give it to him. Because Floyd Mayweather beat two guys who were legitimately the man that the people wanted to see. And you're going to say, what about Robert? Nobody wanted to see Robert Guerrero. Yes, you did. Once the Ghost beat Andre Berto, it was okay for him to fight Floyd Mayweather. Because Manny had just been knocked out. So don't give me this, we still wanted to hear we wanted to see the Pacquiao fight. We didn't know if Pacquiao could chew solid food at that time. So everybody asked to say, yeah, let him fight Robert Guerrero. Guerrero beat the #1 contender and the #2 contender. He deserved to be that champion and deserved to have the fight. He deserved that spot. So he earned his right there. And now here's a guy that earned the spot there, and we saying he shouldn't fight him. See? So it didn't make sense. He was supposed to fight Robert Guerrero. And he did. Canelo Alvarez. Now you said, well, I'll forgive him for fighting him. But he's got to fight Alvarez. He's got to fight Canelo. He's undefeated. He's young. He's strong. I heard all that on the internet. He was the man. It was the most marketed fight in history. I've never seen so much money generated and thrown into a fight for promotions. I enjoyed it. And what an event. But Mayweather beat him decisively, using different strategies, fighting a southpaw fighter to a conventional strong young fighter. They fight different styles, him and Guerrero, and he was able to dominate both of them. And I give him credit for doing that, because that is not easy to do. So, in case you want to know, that is my fighter of the year, Floyd Mayweather. And you gotta put, I think, Stevenson in the mix. You gotta put Kovalev in the mix. I wouldn't put Gennady Golovkin in the mix because the strength of his competition. You know, I'm sorry, Gennady Golovkin, but if you fought some of the major guys that I think that are there, then we can be really having a conversation. And I think next year that will happen for you. And that's my take on that.